Good morning, YouTube. It's Jack back again. I finished writing book one a few days ago, day before Christmas Eve, so the 23rd. So it's been 4 days off from writing. I already feel like I'm starting to get rusty. Give me a minute while I set up Twitch, and been doing a little research on how to publish, how to make money off of my first book, and getting a couple suggestions. One is start writing book two right now, even if it hurts. So I'm back in it, doing the outline today. That's the plan. Starting an outline for the second book of the series. Not playing Warframe right now. Actually will be later on. I got a new frame to test out, Varuna. That'll be fun. I want to keep farming for frame parts that I don't have, and maybe do a storyline. But adulting stuff. I walked the dog, picked up some paint that I ordered. That should be fun. I'm getting back into oil painting. At least that's the plan. Let's see. Copy, edit, final pass, editing. These are all things we are not doing today. What we are doing is outlining brainstorming, I like to call it, armature. And yeah, so boom, we are all set up. And then hit start all. Bam. Alright, hello Twitch, hello Kick. My name is Jack. I'm back again working on another writing project this morning. I am trying to keep that writing muscle strong by working on it every day. This is almost the first thing that I've done today. I have had 1 cup of coffee, took the dog out for a walk, picked up some new paints so I can get into oil painting. Maybe I'll start painting covers. I don't know. I've been doing a digital art cover for the first book. I don't like how Garrett is looking on it. Arista's looking fine. I mean, she's the more developed character, so that works, but I gotta go in and fine-tune it, fix it some more. Currently, I am starting on book 2 this morning, doing the outline. So I've got my armature, my skeleton. The thing, basically, I want to create, this is the bare bones skeleton, basically. Like, this is where I try to write down the entire book almost as quickly as possible, so I know what's going on. This book is going to be a little more complicated than the other one. With the other one, I had 2 characters throughout the entire thing. I had them in one set location. Like, I kept it very simple, very contained, intentionally small. This, I'm actually putting them in a more public, more social setting, so it's less psychology, because you got to make room for psychology to go into it. Less psychology, more sociology. So this is where we're going to learn more about Garrett, about his upbringing, about his family, about where he comes from, all that fun stuff. Yay. So yeah, I need to make my outline. I need to figure out where all my plot lines are going to be, how they converge. I need to turn that light off. So I want to try sitting like this and just make it look like I have an idea the whole time. But that doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm going to grab my coffee. So yeah, let's get this on. I have to take a bathroom break soon. Just give everybody a heads up. Ooh, warm. Bright. Too bright. That's on, off. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I'm not feeling it this morning. Woke up feeling like shit about myself today, which is not, it's not good. It's not great. This past year has been crazy and chaotic and rough and emotionally taxing and draining and disappointing, and it's been a bad year. It's been a bad year. I can say that. I'm really hoping 2026 is going to be better. I'm hoping I publish some stuff. I thank you, everybody who's been joining me on these streams. But I woke up just feeling like shit about myself today. Not sorry for myself, though. Like, holding myself accountable, I guess. And maybe that's the shitty part. I can blame other people. I choose not to today, so I guess I'm being harder on myself. But anyways, finished the first book. Writing-wise, the wife is reading it right now and offering me little critiques and little areas that I should change. I've made a couple of corrections so far. I got like one more to do from what she's told me, and hopefully today she finishes reading the book and gives me the go-ahead. Because my first book that I published years ago, like 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, some significant amount of years ago, she didn't like. She kept telling me, like, are you sure? Are you sure that this is done? Are you sure? And yesterday she told me that it was like I had just sort of mashed together 3 stories in one. Which is kind of what I'm doing here, except I'm writing each of them separate and releasing them each of them as a separate book. Which I think is a much better formula. I want to get back to writing my main story. I really do. But I'm going to keep splashing around and playing in Romantasy for a while. I've got this Drowning Book 2 to do the armature of, and I've got another book in mind that takes place in the same world. Another sort of romantasy character trope build. This one would actually be more of an LGBTQ type of story, and much racier even than this series is. I've looked up how to make money at this. I got to get a Patreon going. That's on my to-do list today, where I'll be uploading drafts as I do them. Apparently I'm in a really good place because I've been streaming my writing. It gives me something called parasocial gold. So apparently people like to see the writing process. I do it because it keeps me honest, it keeps me focused. If I try writing without live streaming, I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to turn on the TV set. I'm going to be playing video games. And if you watch my other streams, like when I'm playing Warframe or DC Universe, again, that's to keep me focused and to keep me honest and to keep a track of my time that I'm spending. Oh, look, there's Lou. Lou's ears right there. It's so weird being inverted. Like, I'm leaning this way, but it shows me leaning that way. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So what was I? Yeah. So I need to publish. Apparently, Kindle, Amazon Kindle Unlimited is a thing. I've done Kindle Direct Publishing before. So it looks like my stuff is going to be Amazon exclusive. Apparently, that's the way you need to go if you're doing 1 romantasy and 2 novellas. Probably going to price my first book at like $3.99. I got to look into that today too. So, yeah, that'll be interesting, especially since my Amazon account is one that I share with the wife. And she kind of hates that, has hated that, so now I need to set up my own, and do all that fun stuff for myself, try to be independent, try to make money. Apparently the most I could expect is maybe like $100 to $500 in the first month off of one book, but in 3 months I could be making possibly a whole $3,000 a month if I streamline everything and get it all set up appropriately. And I'm babbling a little bit, but I'm tired. I'm still waking up. Like I said, woke up not feeling great about myself, about this year. Kind of missing my house. Missing my wife. I told her coming into this new year I would love it if she would at least spend like 2 weekends a month over at this apartment with me, which I gotta get an extension on. Planning on being here for another 5.5 months if possible. Yeah. Yeah. So life is kind of, I don't know, kicking my ass a little bit this morning. I could definitely be worse. Still angry at my cousin for coming in and fucking up my life when I tried to help him and stealing from me and setting me off. And I tried to warn him the whole time, like, I've got a temper, I got anger issues I spent a lot of time working on. I don't need you agitating me again. And he did not take the fucking signal and just stole from me. Stole my wedding ring, stole a bunch of Game Boys that I've been collecting. Like, I had a legacy set of Game Boys that I was very proud of. Made me happy. Made me genuinely happy to have those things. And he took that shit, took a couple of suits from me. Yeah. Just, yeah. And then for trying to help him, his mother cursed me out and told me I'm no longer family because I simply said I wish she would have told us, let us know when he was targeting our house, not to let him stay with us, not to try to help him. And yeah, I get screamed at, cursed out, and told I'm not family simply for calling her out on her bullshit. And that's still giving me a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of desire for revenge. So anyways, that's something I gotta write about eventually when I get to that place. But I'm still processing. It's hard to write about something when you're still going through the emotions of it. I mean, it can be helpful, but it's difficult to get it out there. Anyways, Drowning, Book 2, outline. Well, after all that shit, I feel like I gotta take a shit. But I'm gonna at least put in some words to say that I've made progress. So cast. I think that's the first thing, so I know who my players are. Garrett, Kamo, Prince. Oh, Lavatory. All right, back. So Garrett, Prince. Antagonist. This is our primary POV character. How do I describe Garrett? Garrett is boring. He is down to earth. Content. Honest to a fault. Simple. Antagonist, he's down to earth, content, honest to a fault, simple. Has been lost at sea for over a year. And madly in love with his rescuer slash captor, Arista, the mermaid, proud, aspiring, arrogant, ancient sounding, beautiful, powerful magic, poetic, siren, opinionated. Hey, I spelled that right. Blunt, abrasive, has had limited contact with humans over her long lifetime. Believes she is destined to rule. Jealous, hides, insecurity about her octopus form, hides insecurity about her octopus form, and her dark past. We can go into that a little bit more throughout the story. Primary love interest. Comes off as villainous. Yeah. In almost every situation. Can be very childish. Next. King Gregarious. Gregarious. Outgoing, sociable, social, extroverted, expressive. Friendly, charming, elderly, forgetful, seeming, but surprisingly sharp. Wise. Humorous. Understanding. Comical. I want him to be a very comical character. Shrewdness hidden by wit. Almost always smiling under his thick mustache. And bent over like his crown is too heavy, but never bothered by it. There to hide it. Alright, folks, I'll be back. I gotta switch over my laundry real quick. mischief. Go right ahead, I don't care. Go ahead, you want to look out the window? Look out the window. Daddy's not jacking it. Alrighty. Sorry about that, folks. Had to pop in the laundry. Oh, and while I'm at it, set a timer. You know, it's such a bummer. I had a house, I had a wife who was supporting me and encouraging me to do this stuff, and I wasted a lot of that time in angst and stress and just anxiety that I refused to get help for or do anything about. And I don't have that wife anymore. She's we're not divorced, but we're separated. She's staying with her dad. This colossal, dumbass, annoying, cowardly piece of fucking shit. I wouldn't want to talk about a vet that way, but this is someone who heard his first explosion, shit himself, and got himself a desk job, and now, like, just, yeah. Real piece of work. Not an allegory for King Gregarious here. Gregarious, friendly, charming, elderly, forgetful. Alright, the rabbit's destroying his cardboard box, and that's what it's there for. Surprisingly sharp, wise, humorous, understanding, comical, shrewdness hidden by wit, almost always smiling under his thick mustache as if the mustache is there to hide it, thin, bent over like his crown is too heavy but never bothered by it, wears thick, lavish robes to hide old, gaunt frame. Very comical, friendly character, like... seems far too old to still be king. Queen Gertrude, place holder. Oops. Placeholder name, because Gertrude is what comes to mind, but at the same time, Gertrude is the name of the queen in Hamlet. So, yeah, she's not the best character. She's the one who ends up marrying her brother's, or marrying her deceased husband's brother. So I don't know if I love that. She's kind of foolish and juvenile, and that's not exactly how I see this Gertrude being. But I got the whole G thing going with the family: Garth, Galen, Gregarious, Garrett. So Gertrude seems like a good fit. God damn it, Mo. He's not that annoying. He's not that annoying right now. He's just being a bunny. He's being better than he has been. Queen Gertrude, what's another name? Guinevere, but then that's going to Arthurian legend. Gertrude, Queen Guinevere, and either one of them is good. Like Gertrude and Guinevere are both kind of bad queens. Both hoes. Both kind of unfaithful. Gertrude, Gwendolyn, Queen Gwendolyn. Queen Gwen is a bit of a mouthful. Maybe I'll do that instead. Keep the placeholder name, but let's say Gwendolyn. Let's say it's spelled Dylan, Gwen. Gwen Dylan. It is. Oh fuck, it's got a boy's name tacked on the end of it. Queen Gwendolyn. How do we describe her? Confident, wise, witty, clever, knows far more than she says, youthful spirit, confident, wise, witty, clever, knows far more than she says, youthful spirit. Blunt, honest, confident. Yeah, so I think I want Queen Gwendolyn to see a lot of herself in Arista, as far as the confidence and the bluntness and the sort of brazen personality. Despite advanced years, has a light in her eyes. Proud. Not prone to small talk, but not fond of small talk. Keep going. Garth, comma, Prince, eldest son of King and Queen, Boorish, Orsine, lust for life, greedy, enterprising, likes games or competition where he can dominate. Otherwise, he's not playing. Entitled, indirect, arrogant, secretive, dismissive, as the eldest son and heir apparent, believes he is entitled to everything he wants, but is sneaky and two-faced in how to get it. Tries to act gregarious like his father, but is manipulative and cowardly. Awesome. Book Buyer, the Bookkeeper. Nice name. Yeah. Cool. This is the second one that I'm actually working on. I finished the other one earlier this week. Well, finished is a rough term, artistically speaking. But yeah, this is my prep phase for book 2 in the series. Eldest son, King and Queen, Boorish, Borsine, Lust for Life. Right now, just doing my character lists, getting the armature done, so I've got everything ready to go, and I know what I'm writing before I start writing. Titled, indirect, arrogant, secretive, dismissive, boastful, eldest son, heir apparent, believes he's entitled to everything he wants, but is sneaky and two-faced in how to get it, tries to act gregarious like his father, but is manipulative and cowardly. Alright. Galen, comma, Prince. Adult. Dark romantasy. Definitely more adult, but maybe not the most advanced reading level. I try to keep it approachable. Galen, Prince. Sweet. Well, I'll keep working on it. I appreciate that encouragement. Youngest son of King and Queen. Youngest son of King and Queen. Delicate. Constitution. Poetic. Flighty. Easily distracted. Mama's boy. You're gonna have to tell me what NA is. New adult. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if that's really, maybe. Yeah, I could definitely see it being for a younger audience. I wouldn't say it's young adult themes, but I'm definitely leaning heavily into tropes, from what I understand from writing romantasy. Prior to this, I was focused on writing allegorical, like humanities type of stuff that's meant to endure and explain the human condition. But given the current job market right now, I'm going for what sells the most. So a bit of a rough kind of downshift for me. But easier to write, more fun. Yeah. And then novella as well, so I'm containing the length. Typically what I do is I write stuff that, in order to accurately... Sweet. Typically what I do is I tend to do so much world building and character building and development that I start projects that would require like 200,000 words. Yeah, I like my big books too. Definitely. That's why I'm working as a series. So hopefully when I'm done, I'll have 3 books that you can just mash together. Yeah, that's the goal. Is eventually have something that's 3 books that you can just put together as one big book, but release them in smaller installments, so I can start, hopefully generating profit as soon as possible. Sweet. What book is that? Um, Titled, Spoiled. I think I've heard the titles before. I haven't read them though. Poetic, flighty, easily distracted, mama's boy, entitled, spoiled. Suppose lazy. No. I'm thinking 20s. No, he's a grown ass man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Prince Galen. Married to Garrett's once fiance. So the story that I have going, the first book, Prince Garrett gets washed overboard. He's on a vessel. He is going to another kingdom to meet his intended fiancée, and instead he gets shipwrecked and rescued by a mermaid who takes him to a cursed island that she's not allowed to leave until true love breaks her curse. And so she kind of keeps him there in the hopes that they're going to fall in love and break the curse. And they go through, well, eventually they do. But it's only really by like taking the time and giving up on breaking the curse that they actually like manage to find each other. So this book is a well, he was in the ocean. His ship wrecked by a storm. She can swim around the border of the island. And it's kind of implied that maybe she was having a bad day. Yeah. And her emotions tend to affect the weather out at sea. So it's possible that she had been even trying to break the barrier surrounding her island, as she is prone to do, and that caused the storm that brought up that sank his ship in the first place. After he was presumed dead. Princess Jocelyn Garrett's once fiance, romantic, poetic, slightly flighty, romantic, poetic, slightly flighty, lovely, selfish, entitled. Sweet. Appreciate that. That's a good question. Little wishy-washy. Little ditzy. prone to strong emotions and then getting distracted by something else. I think that's what I mean. Little bit. Variable, erratic, inconsistent, unreliable, impulsive. Yeah. I plan on making her sort of a romantic rival. So a little bit ADHD. Yeah, that, yes, actually that's really good. Especially since that crowd is so prone to limerence. So let's see. She was raised believing she would be Garrett's wife someday, and despite marrying his younger brother, has not let go of being with Garrett. Oops. So that's kind of her romantic side coming out. Like, she still feels like she should be with Garrett, and even though she's married to the younger brother, there's no reason why they can't be, romantically entwined. Yeah. Yeah, especially if there's no, like, chemistry between them, naturally speaking, where they're both so distracted by their own things. Romantically. Who else do I have from the main cast? I got Garrett, my protagonist, who is boring. He's simple, he's honest, he's not aspiring, he doesn't really want much, he's very content with where he is in life. Like, he feels like he's already got it all. He's already won Arista, the mermaid, who's proud, aspiring, arrogant, ancient sounding, beautiful, has powerful magic. She's poetic, she's a siren, she's opinionated, she's blunt and abrasive. Has had limited contact with humans over her long lifetime, believes she's destined to rule, jealous, hides insecurities about her dark magic form, her dark past. Primary love interest, comes off as villainous in almost every situation, can be very childish. King Gregarious. King Gregarious is gregarious, friendly, charming, elderly, forgetful, seemingly, but surprisingly sharp, wise, humorous, understanding, comical, shrewdness hidden by wit, almost always smiling under his thick mustache as if he wears the mustache in order to hide his smile, thin, bent over like his crown is too heavy, but he's never bothered by it, wears thick, lavish robes to hide old, gaunt frames, he's far too old to still be king. Nice. Queen Gwendolyn, or whatever I end up calling her. I'm sticking with the whole G thing with the family. And Gertrude and Guinevere have already been ruined in other stories. Confident, wise, witty, clever, knows far more than she says, youthful spirit despite advanced age, blunt, honest, confident, has a light in her eyes, proud, sees a lot of herself in Arista. Garth, prince, eldest son of king and queen, boorish, porcine, lust for life, greedy, enterprising, likes games or competitions where he can dominate, otherwise he's not playing. Entitled, indirect, arrogant. Do I have arrogant already? No. Arrogant, secretive, dismissive, boastful, as the eldest son and heir apparent, believes he's entitled to everything he wants, but is sneaky and two-faced in how to get it, tries to act gregarious like his father, but is manipulative and cowardly. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably where I'm drawing a lot of my inspiration. Has affection for Galen, but no real love as the story opens. Yeah, that's a real good idea. And yeah, that is very popular. With I'm drawing a blank on the words. With blank being on the rise, diagnoses being on the rise. People enjoy characters they can relate to. And I do need that neurospicy stuff because, like I said, neurodivergent people. Garrett is very boring. I designed my protagonist to be incredibly just down to earth. So really, it's like I'm almost trying to write a neurotypical character in a world made up of neurodivergent people, because neurodivergent people make for far more interesting characters. Okay. Yeah, I try to. It's a little different in my experience. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my wife and I both seem to have ADHD, but it seems like we have the inverted type, where she has the more masculine ADHD, I have the more feminine. It's a good club to be in. Yeah, fast thought and more expansive thought. She would be Garrett's wife someday, and despite marrying his younger brother, does not let go of being with Garrett romantically, has affection for Galen, but no real love as the story opens. And then other main characters I haven't named. Oh yes, I do. Gregarious the Second. Garth's son, young, 20-something, conniving. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is definitely some. I'm definitely drawing from real life inspiration on these characters. Perhaps a little bit too much on my in-laws when it comes to the brothers. Garth's son, young 20-something, conniving, selfish, shifty. False. Greedy. Enterprising. Garrett. Garrett is a good guy, genuinely, truly. King Gregarious, Queen Gwendolyn, all very like good characters, great characters you'd want to know. Whereas, yeah, I do have a lot of very negative characters, but I'm also setting this up to be like a whodunit. So one of the main plot points is the king gets sick, and it seems like it's poison. So who did it? So I need to have a list of suspects, and the primary suspect throughout the entire thing has to be Arista, the mermaid, because she's magical. She shows up out of the blue, and then the king gets sick. So Arista is she's not a sweet, cute, innocent mermaid. She's the sea witch. Like there's a reason she was cursed to the island that she was at. This wasn't like some innocent thing. Like she's definitely villain fodder. Definitely going the woke Disney route of like Elsa, where they try to make the Ice Queen into a heroic figure. So yeah, unfortunately, I do have to layer on a lot of negative traits for these characters. because I want everyone to be a suspect. I want, as you read through, to kind of be like, oh, maybe it was them. Maybe they did this. Garth's son, young 20-something, conniving, selfish, shifty, false, greedy, enterprising. The characters all seem kind of similar. Yeah, well, it's familial stuff. I'm writing about one family. Garth's son, young 20-something, conniving, selfish, shifty, false, greedy, enterprising. Athletic. Strong but impatient. Don't have a name for this character yet. Maybe I do. Garth's daughter. Go the full Winnie the Pooh route. Cool. Garth's daughter. Opinionated. Acts charitable. Opinionated, acts charitable. Hell yeah. Opinionated, acts charitable. Judgmental. Isolated? Is that the word I want? Private. Overly familial. Prefers immediate family and suspicious of everyone else. Easily offended. Dismissive. Not introverted, like because of who her father is and who her grandfather is, she tries to act like she's a friendly, outgoing person, but maybe has some introverted aspects. That's a good point to bring up. Reserved. I'm going to pop all that in. Unintentionally introverted. Perhaps doesn't realize that she is and stresses herself out trying to be otherwise. Yeah, absolutely. prefers her cats above all else. Mid-20s. Okay. Oh, yeah. Garth's wife. That's cool. I only got the two. I got my graphics tablet and my main monitor. Garth's wife. I'm going to start with introverted, charitable, loves literature, particularly, and way to misspell literature, particularly romance. Introverted but charitable, loves literature, particularly romance. Hospitable. Can be both caring and dismissive. Easily offended. She's a bit of a caregiver. She tries to tend to others quite a bit, particularly like her elderly in-laws. Yeah, seems warm, kind, open, friendly, welcoming, but motherly. I mean, she is a mother, yeah. But not just motherly, also like a dutiful daughter. But again, like this is her daughter's mother, so her daughter's tendency to prefer her familial connections over everyone else, like to an extreme degree, probably came from her. So it's that thing where women tend to be a little more social and welcoming, but oftentimes it's along familial lines. That's where their strongest connections. Like it's the pairings of X chromosomes tend to determine the strongest bonds. Daughter-in-law. Say tired. Okay. And I had ChatGPT come up with some ideas to help me expand my cast a little bit. I'm not going to use it like verbatim at all. Like Lord Hulbrecht, Chancellor of the Seal. I do need lords. I do need other characters. I need to have at least 6 to 8 characters. Right. Tired. Tired, say, drained by the demands of her adventure / distraction seeking husband. I want to say, and cloying children. I would say all 3. By trying to meet everyone's demands, by trying to be so catering and domestic and helpful, she's just kind of drained herself out, which leads to a little bit of irritation and why she can be so dismissive and so easily offended. It's that fallacy of being nice, or that reciprocal altruism, where you keep giving of yourself and giving of yourself and then get upset. Yeah, burnt out. That's excellent. Let's see, Lady Marilyn, Mistress of Court Etiquette. Sir Aldrich, Royal Cupbearer. Yeah. Yeah, I think you really are. You're helping me to fine-tune stuff and be very specific in how I'm coming up with these character designs. It's very useful. I appreciate you. Please follow. Keep on me about this stuff. For some reason, my writing streams seem to be my more successful ones. No one cares about my gaming. I appreciate that so much. So I guess I just need to throw in like roles. Like I know I need a court physician. I kind of like the concept of going with a female court physician. That's a great question. And that's where I need to start expanding this world a little bit. Like so far for the design, I've got the immediate family, and that's about it. In the first book, I intentionally kept things small, and I only had 2 characters throughout it, like 2 characters on a desert island. Yep, I'm working on developing those characters right now. Close friend and ally to who? To my protagonist, or to Garth's wife, whatever I end up naming her? Probably want another G sound, or the Queen. Court physician. Scholarly. Try spelling that correctly. Yay. It's a good idea. Let's see, court physician, scholarly, by the book ish. Maybe just bookish. Of course, that just means scholarly. Yeah, you're giving me a lot to build on. I appreciate that. Yes, yes, maids. Court physician, scholarly, bookish. Liveryman, as in like deliveryman. No. Okay, what's a liveryman? Scholarly, bookish. Okay. Mumbles. Pedantic. I'll get to names later. Oh yeah? What is it? Uses big words, but often gets them confused. To wear the livery of a house. So like a monarch? Or not a monarch. Oh. Sounds a little like a viceroy. Scatterbrained. Experimenter. Oh, I spelled that right. Scholarly, bookish, mumbles, pedantic, uses big words but often gets them confused. Scatterbrained, experimenter. Do I want to make him slightly mad scientist-ish? Like, all I have in mind for this dude is like white hair and a particular sort of goatee mustache combo. Yeah, that would seem the most appropriate. And pop that in. Yeah. Scatterbrained, experimenter, autistic. Yeah. Intelligent but limited. That's fantastic. Vastly intelligent. Let's go ahead and push that. But limited and socially awkward. I like that. That's a great touch. Never married. Concept of romance lost on them. You waking up, dude? I'm liking that cousin angle, that family member, and that could even be like a good, like, sort of mistress of the house. What's up, Riz? You waking up, dude? Hi. Hey, buddy. My lizard just woke up. He's the laziest of my pets. Mistress of court etiquette. I take him out, but I don't like to handle him until he's had his bowel movements. And he's still going to be like, cold and waking up. Alright, real quick, the wife is texting me. She just woke up. We are not living together at the moment, trying to figure stuff out at this phase of our lives. So, good morning. Hope you slept well. Hope you slept well. Dreams of the next book. My plan is to finish the first one today, and I have a feeling I will be craving more. Yeah. Working on the outline. / cast of characters right now, getting awesome help from a viewer. Morning. No, she's not a writer. She's not a writer at all. She, like I said, she has ADHD that when she was a kid was misdiagnosed as being dyslexia. So she's got a lot of insecurities when it comes to reading, when it comes to literature, when it comes to stuff like that. So, awesome. That's fantastic. Good luck with the job search. She's my primary demographic who I write to, and through the rough patch in our marriage, she's become a major inspiration for me. Like I said, I try to write allegorical stuff, and I really figured out how to start doing that earlier last year or the beginning of this year, and I didn't like it. I started to write allegorical. I started to write like from my own personal experience and really like dig deep and put my guts out on the page, and I didn't like it. It forced me to deal with some stuff that I had repressed for most of my life, and so I took a big gap, and life happened. I tried to help out a family member who wound up ripping me off and stealing from us after he stayed with us for a couple of weeks, and my dissociation kicked in, and my rejection sensitive dysphoria kicked in, and she saw me just going through another dark phase that after 20 years of marriage, she had seen enough of that. So yeah, we had to separate, and at first it seemed like we just weren't going to make it, but I started going to church again. I started praying again. I started going to therapy. I started reading how to be a better husband. I started trying to really make changes with myself. And we're slowly bringing stuff back together. I'm living on my own for the first time. It's just me and my pets. She's staying with her dad. Yeah, and I've been going through a lot of dark phases this past year. It's been a really rough year. It's easily been like the worst year of my life. But good in a lot of ways. It's forced me to get clean, stop drinking, stop smoking as much pot as I was. I was smoking a lot of weed in order to keep myself repressed and not really deal with my stuff. And yeah, so it's been rough. And writing has really been helping me out a lot. A lot. Thanksgiving I was by myself, and normally I'm by myself for Thanksgiving because I was working weird hours when I was working overnights, which kept me pretty antisocial and just sort of fed into that negative behavior. And Garrett, the dude that I've been writing about, like, I swear he got me through that day. So yeah. What's light therapy? Is that like casual therapy, or is that therapy involving lights? Because I was talking to someone for a while, but I had insurance run out. Literally using a lamp. No, I haven't tried anything like that. I have noticed on days when I'm suffering from heavy depression, from heavy depression, just opening my blinds and getting some sunlight in. Seasonal affective disorder. Yeah. I have been going through a lot of that, particularly this season, and actual sunlight has been, yep, that's been really bad this year, probably worse than it's ever been for me. I take tryptophan before I go to sleep, which is one of the precursors for serotonin in the brain. If I skip a couple of days, I absolutely go into a depression. I've been taking vitamin D3. Just standing with my lizard in the afternoon as the sunlight's coming through and letting him bask on my shoulder, that's something that kind of helps me out a lot. I got a dog, taking her out for about 3 to 5 walks a day to get outside. That helps. So yeah, I do my own light therapy, trying to get sun. She is 2/3 Standard Collie, 1/3 Eastern German Shepherd, so the small black kind. I got her from a breeder. That's how I know how precisely what she is. I do a lot of my best brainstorming when I'm out walking the dog. If I get stuck on a section, if I'm editing a section and I don't really know how it's supposed to go, or I know I have to fix it, awesome. You got 2 little Monopoly pieces. That's one of my best writing sessions, as I just go out and brainstorm what I've been working on. I usually come back with a nice little word salad. Yeah, it's still morning. I keep the lights off so I don't get the back glare from the dining room, which behind me is where I have my rabbit's pen set up. And then I got my blinds here, but I keep them shut because I'm on a first floor apartment, and my dog tends to get set off quite a bit. Pretty awesome apartment complex, very pet friendly. All right. Mistress of Court Etiquette. Physician's cousin dotes on her scatterbrained cousin as much as the royal family. Best friends with the Queen. Seems to be the lady in charge. Very proper and refined. Bit stuck up and prudish. Was married once. He passed away. children have all moved on. Oh, okay. I gotta go check on my laundry. Let's see. Dauphin, scatterbrained cousin, as much as the royal family, best friends with the queen. Sweet. I had to step out too. Get switch the laundry over. Let's see. Back to my timer. Start. Bam. Thanks. Appreciate that. I was actually thinking about another cup of coffee. Not that that's hydration. All right. Mistress of Court Etiquette, physician's cousin. Is he intelligent but limited and socially awkward? Never married. Bit stuck up and prudish. Was married once, but he passed away, and children have moved on. Committed and loyal. Offended. All right. For the king and queen when Arista fails to show humility offended for the king and queen when Arista fails to show humility. What am I thinking of? I say refuses to see/say anything negative about royal family. Kind of like this name, Sir Aldrich. Go ahead and use that. Sir Aldrich. Royal Cupbearer. Nervous. Superstitious. Hey, is How Love 10. How you doing? Spell that right. Superstitious, irrational, gullible, illogical. Fastidious? Is that the word I want? Particular, difficult, precise, thorough, delicate, yeah. Fastidious, anal, obsessive, precise, does nervous work for a cupbearer? That really doesn't work. Like, big part of your job is just to stand still. Alright, appreciate you. Good luck. Right now I am designing my cast of characters for a novel that I'm starting. This is the second, or novella actually. This is the second book in a series that I've been working on, but I'm expanding my cast of characters and kind of trying to generate a whodunit sort of list without even being 100% on exactly whodunit yet. So writing down character types. I mean, I could just be writing down archetypes from the big book of Greek archetypes. I don't know if nervous is a good descriptor. Stoic would be better. If I said repressing anxiety / nervousness. It could, yeah, especially if he's like easily startled. Lord, I guess I'll use this as a placeholder as well. Albrecht. Yeah, unfortunately I'm a novelist. The real jobs aren't really hiring, so yeah. This would be, well, I haven't published I published one years ago that was rough. It could have been a lot better, and I'm dipping into it again just because this year has been so hard and bad for trying to find a real job. So it's kind of forced me into something that I've always felt like I should be doing. But I've always been a bit too anal, a bit too much of a perfectionist in order to actually get anything done. So I'm downplaying things a bit. I'm writing shorter novels, and I'm trying to be much more precise and taking everything that I've learned through a lot. I've done a lot. I have a hard time hanging on to jobs for more than 3 years. Over the last 7, 8 years, I've just been doing a lot of retail. Prior to that, I was on the management track, and I got really tired of the hustle of people, of just sort of corporate disrespect, I guess. So I've been slumming it for the last few years, just doing early morning shift, overnight shift, retail stuff, trying to be the lowest rung on the ladder, take as little responsibility as possible. And I still have to deal with toxic leads. And I just quit about this time last year. I had injured my shoulder, and yeah. I have my bachelor's degree in game design and animation, though, with heavy focus on character design. That's rough. So really, this is what I'm trying to do, to build worlds. My bachelor's degree covers animation, 3D modeling, character design, environmental design, the business aspects, programming, basically way too much. And I've tried to do everything by myself on multiple occasions. I've started a few games. I've got so many game design documents floating around in my save files. But this is the simplest way of getting into all of that, is just writing the story, creating the world, and hopefully, yeah. Yep. So yeah, this is me trying to tame all that, trying to use my supposed superpowers. Lord Halbrecht. Chancellor. Traditionalist. Mistrusts. Aristas. Disrespect and mystery right away. Publicly leads. Suspicion against her, publicly. Feels King Gregarious is far too gregarious. Old guard. Afraid of change. Let's see, what else have I done? I was a maintenance tech for about 5 years. That was my longest job, where I was in charge of 35 buildings at one point. Did a lot of property management type stuff. I was a teacher for a year, but I did not get along with the company that I was teaching through. I was teaching aerodynamics, computer design, game design, pretty much any like high-tech STEM type stuff, which was awesome, especially working with autistic kids. That was my favorite part of the job. Did not realize I was on the spectrum at the time. What else have I done? Done a lot. But writing is something I feel like I should do. Writing is something I was told as a kid a lot of the time, like, oh, I can definitely see you doing this. You seem like character design was something I've always been kind of focused on. Sister Kaylin, priestess of the, what do I call this, the religion, priestess of the teachings of Josirian. Josirian is a saintly character that exists in my world who's been dead for hundreds of years, but his teachings are still like the dominant, righteous, pious school of thought. Josirian was the first high elf. Priestess of the teachings of Josirian. Suspicious of strange magic. Again, mistrusts Arista immediately. Assumes she is a half or at least quarter elven. Warns Garrett quietly. Let's go with that. Knows what the poison isn't, knows what it might be. Fenric. Master of provisions. How long have I been at this? An hour and 48 minutes. Okay. I can keep going. At least take it to 2 hours. And then maybe take a break. Black. Master of provisions. Controls food storage. I think I'm at the point where I'm better off creating more characters than I actually need. And then seeing how they actually work as the story pans out. Because I've got my basic armature in mind. I've been writing about this like last night. And even prior to that. But it's figuring out how all the plot lines are going to come together and merge into one. So I know how I want it to end. And I find that's incredibly valuable. Is having your ending in mind, knowing how it opens, knowing how it ends, and then just figuring out everything that goes in the middle. Opportunity. King's leniency. Bigot. Maybe racist. Elitist. Despite having come from humble origins. This is Jocelyn. Let's make her also a gossip. Impatient. Conceited. Chaste, naive, ways of world, Puritan, and I only got humans. That's in a magical world. That's not good. That's not good at all. I got like a bunch of humans and one mermaid. I need more. I have cat people in this world as slaves. Like that's their typical role. Do I really want to go with the cat girl maid trope? Tropes are valuable. Tropes are, in this genre, tropes are vital. Tropes are better than originality. Cat girl maid. Fascinated by Arista immediately and can't understand why. Slightly ditzy. Pristine. In playfulness, suppressed flirtiness, suppressed flirt. Prone to eavesdropping. Quick and efficient in duties. Captain of the Guard. What do I have? I have a Chancellor of the Guard. I feel like I want to name this character right away. Captain of the Guard. Captain of the Guard what? I think I want to make him a half orc. Maybe because I've been watching The Mighty Nine. It's like my latest obsession show. Captain of the Guard. That, I just need more color. I need more species. And this would make for a great ally for Garrett. I'll worry about name later. Captain of the Guard. Half orc. Garrett's childhood friend. Maybe part of the reason why he's so open-minded to other species like Arista in the first place. Honor-bound and honest. A stoic individual. Direct. Respectful. Works hard to appear dignified. And calm. Strong. physically and mentally tolerant of bigotry and used to being dignitaries fiercely loyal to the king and queen who have shown him such kindness. How many characters do I have so far? Garrett, Arista, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's throw in a couple more. A couple more, make some tea, maybe think about, oh, it's 10:30. Jeez. Yeah. I still gotta work on cover art too. Catherine the Guard, half orc, Garrett's childhood friend, honor bound and honest. I want to keep adding like creatures to the court. There's no limit. I mean, I could throw in some bombazons. I do love my bombazons. I like to toss them in. That's what my world has. Instead of Amazons, I have bombazons, which is a play on Celtic mythology. Like in my world, I combine my Amazons and my Wood Elves. So Wood Elves are the daughters of Dryads and are only ever born female. But because they're all about female empowerment, they've opened up their kingdom to any woman who wants to escape from male oppression. So my Bombazons are just female warriors of every race. But at their core, they're Wood Elves. Technically a slave, like all cat people are in this world, but they were treated like one by the king and queen. Garth's son is a different matter. What else do I want to have in the court or be part of it? I could throw in Bombazons, but I feel like I'm better off leaving them out for now, especially since the other book that I kind of have cooking in the back of my brain right now is all about the Bombazons. And I also have them in the main book that I'm working on, the larger one. I'm taking a break from doing this other stuff for. I don't have any true half-elves. Of course, I could make Sister Kaelin a half-elf. And if I make her half high elf, that means I can make her older than she appears. And that's fun. That's kind of what I've done with Arista as well. Let's see, I don't want to include bombins. How long have I been at this now? Oh, over 2 hours. Okay. Good time to take a break. I think what I want to do, though, is take what I've got so far. Yeah, good time to take a break. I'm going to pop this into ChatGPT and see what kind of verdict I get or what kind of notes it spits out back at me. It's a strong, usable cast, and more importantly, it already argues with itself. There's a sign that you're ready to lock Book 2's arc instead of just accumulating tension. And before things, clarify what Book 2 is fundamentally about. Assign narrative jobs to your cast so no one is excess. Give you a clean Book 2 arc outline, acts, and turning points. That's sludge at the bottom. Flag 1 structural, danger to avoid. Drowning is a perfect title because Arista comes from the sea. Garrett is being submerged in power, politics, and myth. Love itself becomes something that can suffocate. This is not a conquest book, it's a pressure book. Yeah. Arista is trying to get him to become king. He doesn't want the job, but he just kind of falls into it. The royal core, emotional gravity, Garrett, moral anchor being eroded, Arista, power without restraint, learning cost, King Gregarious, living reminder of gentle authority, Queen Gwendolyn, truth seer, and quiet manipulator. These four define the argument of the book. Corrupted branch, inherited rot, Garth, entitlement without courage, Gregarious 2, ambition without patience, Garth's daughter, judgment without empathy, Garth's wife, duty without fulfillment. Together they show power passed down without reflection becomes poison. This makes Garth's family thematically necessary, not just antagonists. The romantic knife edge, Jocelyn, nostalgia weaponized Galen, weakness disguised as sensitivity. They exist to test Garrett's honesty, Arista's jealousy, the difference between desire and choice. Jocelyn is not a villain, she's a mirror of the life Garrett could have chosen. The court as pressure system. These characters do not need arcs, only consistency. Court physician, rational fear of magic, mistress of etiquette, social order over truth, Sir Aldrich. Ritual precision and witness, Lord Hulbrecht. Tradition as defense mechanism, Sister Kaelin. Moral absolutism, Lord Fenric, practical bigotry. They exist to amplify suspicion, slow truth, force Arista and Garrett into mistakes. The humanizing anchors, cat, girl, maid, innocence and exploitation, Captain the Guard, chosen loyalty versus inherited power. These two quietly remind the reader the consequences of rulership fall on people who never chose the game. Clean structural outline. Rising tide. Power settles in uneasily, Garrett adjusting to princely authority. Arista shakes at restraint and court norms. Court whispers never fully fade after Book 1. Garth's family is present, polite, watching. Early signs that the king is not as strong as before. And Act 1 with a public moment where Arista oversteps and Garrett doesn't stop her. This is important. It plants guilt. Everyone starts making the wrong kind of compromises. One structural danger to avoid, important. Do not let Arista be right too often. If her magic always works, her instincts are always correct, her anger is always justified, then she stops being dangerous and the book loses teeth. Let her be effective and wrong, save people and scare them, love Garrett and endanger him. That tension is the soul of the series. Yeah. I'm not going to use AI for my chapter-by-chapter beat map until I've actually done it myself. You're no longer world building, you're engineering consequence. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I definitely got more to do. Like I said, I want to increase my cast a little bit. I need to let it rest, percolate, rest my eyes, drink some water, hydrate, all that fun stuff. Alright. Yeah, alright. I need to take a break. Definitely. See where my laundry is at. Do some light gaming. So I'm going to end this broadcast, but I will be back on Drowning, Book 2, outline. Make sure that's saved. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break from this, make some tea, play a little Warframe, pull my laundry out, all that fun stuff. Cat's been fed, dog ate, bunny's been fed, Rizzy, my Lizzie. Oh, look at you, buddy. Yeah, you're looking so much bigger. You're looking so much bigger. Should give you some veg. I pull you out, but you pooped on me on Christmas Eve, so I don't trust you yet. Alright. Yeah, I'll be back. Thank you, Book Buyer, the Bookkeeper. I appreciate your comments and keeping me on track. Is How Love 10. Thank you for popping in and commenting as well. I appreciate all my viewers on this. Hope you keep tuning in. Hope you keep joining me on this process. This can be fun, and hopefully this becomes how I live. All right. All right. Peace out, Twitch. Peace out, Kick. Goodbye, YouTube.